Hello students, in this video we will study about geostationary satellites and Kepler's law of planetary motion. So first let us see what are geostationary satellites. As the name suggests, geo means what? Earth. Stationary means rest. The satellites which appear to be at rest with respect to Earth, they are called geostationary satellites. So in order that the satellites appear to be stationary, it is necessary that its period of revolution should be equal to 24 hours, because the time taken for the Earth to rotate on its axis is 24 hours. So for this satellite, its period of revolution is 24 hours. Then only the satellite will appear to be stationary. Now in order to find the height of this satellites, we use the formula T is equal to 2 pi under root Re plus H whole cube upon G Re square. This we had seen in the last video. This is a formula for time period. Now for this satellite, we note this T, this is 24 hours. Re is the radius of Earth, H is the height of the satellite. We want to find the height of the satellite. Squaring both sides, this is T square, 4 pi square, Re plus H whole cube upon G Re square. We want Re plus we want H. So this therefore Re plus H whole cube becomes T square upon 4 pi square G Re square. So Re plus H is equal to T square upon 4 pi square G Re square 1 by 3. This is cube, so this becomes 1 by 3. For height H, therefore H is equal to T square upon 4 pi square G Re square 1 by 3 minus Re. So this is the expression to find the height of geostationary satellite. You know T is 24 hours, change it into second. Re is the radius of Earth, G is due to gravity. On putting the value, approximately it comes out to be 36,000 km. Approximately it is 36,000 km. This is your geostationary satellite. The next topic is Kepler's laws of planetary motion. So Kepler has given three laws. First is law of orbits. This law states that every planet, each planet, it revolves around the sun in an elliptical orbit. The planet revolves around the sun in an elliptical orbit with the sun at one of its focus. So the path of the planet is elliptical. And the sun lies at one of the focus of the ellipse. Law of orbit states that each planet revolves around the sun in an elliptical orbit with the sun at one of its focus. So this is your law of orbit. This diameter, this path is this elliptical path, and sun is at one of the focus of the ellipse, and this any planet I've drawn. Second is law of areas. It states that the line joining the sun and the planet, sweeps out equal area in equal time interval. Again I am repeating, law of area states that the line joining the sun and the planet sweeps out equal area in equal time interval. That is, its aerial velocity remains constant. Aerial velocity is constant. Suppose the planet at any instant is at point A and it reaches B in time t. So this is line joining sun and the planet, and after time t it moves to B. So this area, okay? And suppose the same planet at any point it is at C, and the same time t, if it reaches D, we join this sun and the planet, Again we find out this area. It is seen that both the areas are equal. Planet reaches from A to B in time t, so this line joining sweeps out this much area. In the same time, if the planet moves from C to D, again if we find out this area, so both the areas they are equal. So the line joining the sun and the planet sweeps out equal area in equal time interval. That is, its area velocity is constant. So this is your law of areas. Third is law of periods. It states that the square of the time period of revolution, the square of the time period of revolution of any planet is proportional to the cube of its mean distance from the sun. The square of the time period of revolution of a planet is proportional to cube of its mean distance from the sun. Why are we taking mean? Because this is not the sphere. We take the mean distance of planet from the sun. So t square is proportional to r cube. T is period of revolution and r is the mean distance from the sun. These are Kepler's law of planetary motion.